huge arsenal. Tusk has a huge arsenal. And they're all spells that have a relatively low cooldown, with the exception of Song of the Siren.
Yeah, they're very spammable. That's a very good point. And even Laguna, I guess, kind of is pretty long cooldown too. But
well, that's pretty low actually for such a huge nuke like that. True. It's only 70 seconds in level 1. Pretty amazing actually. So, I mean, that's not even her main spell. Her main spell is the amazing Light Strike Array, which is a very, very good stun, AOE stun at that. So, we'll see if Evil Geniuses invade their jungle. I'm pretty sure they're going to, because their level 1 is significantly stronger right now. So there's no reason to not shut down Chen early on.
I mean, Chen does not want to get Tested Faith level 1. You want to be able to take that Creep Holy Persuasion and go from there. And we'll see if Evil Geniuses do decide to roam into the jungle. That's definitely a possibility. Evil Geniuses, they have a great lineup. Team Secret as well. They're a bit different. Bristleback, if he gets strong, he can easily take hold of this early game, especially with an IO at his back. We'll see if it is going to be Arteezy playing it, or if he's going to be playing the Storm Spirit instead. Winter Wyvern comes out from Evil Geniuses. I'm not the biggest fan of this hero, but in order to lock down, say, Storm Spirit, I think Cold Embraces, or rather Winter's Curse, is one of the ways you can do that, and it'll help a lot.
It's thought of as one of the better heroes in the game against Wisp, just because you throw it on the Wisp, and not only do you stop him from doing anything, but his team kills him. So what better way to do that onto a hero that wants to be next to his teammates? So it's thought of as a really, really strong counter to the Wisp, and I've seen it in play. I've played against it before, being on a Wisp team. At MLG, we ran the Wisp Tiny against and they picked a Wyvern, and it was kind of miserable, honestly, once it got to the mid-late game.
That does not sound fun. Winter Wyvern is something, I will say, the last time I did see the Winter Wyvern was in the game-deciding match between Na'Vi as well as Mouse Sports, and Mouse Sports picked it up, and it did not work out for them at all. And so Winter Wyvern is something I'm still kind of questioning. There was a couple of times we saw it picked up right around that WCA when the patch first dropped, and we're like, oh, Winter Wyvern, that should be a really good hero. And then he just never really got touched, other than a couple of games here and there. So I'm still skeptical about the Winter Wyvern. But for Team Secret, is their last pick coming out. They already have the Chen IO support duo, Storm Spirit probably going mid. It is the Tiny coming out. Ooh. So not only have the Bristleback as well, they've got the Tiny. And you talked about it, Winter Wyvern against this kind of lineup here, and this could be pretty interesting for both squads, really. But well, we'll see if Arteezy, as well as I imagine Kuro, if they can carry this game with a Tiny IO combo.
I have never seen PBD play this hero.
Wyvern? Yeah,
I've never seen him. And I know that I'm not quite sure he has a background of playing it from, like, you know, the old Dota 1 days, because I know he played
This
Han.
is a new hero, though. Remember, Winter Wyvern just came out only a year or two ago.
So it wasn't ever introduced in Dota 1?
Well, I mean, Dota 2 was already out when Wyvern was added to Dota 1.
Okay.
He was either playing Han or playing Dota 2 at the time.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. It's fuzzy to me because there's a list of heroes that came out after, like, when a lot of people quit Dota 1 that didn't play ever those heroes. I didn't know if Winter Wyvern was like one of those that came out right afterwards, but
yeah, it was him and Arc Warden or Zet or whatever his name is. Those were the two heroes that came out.
No idea.
Yeah, dude.
So this is PPD's at least first official Wyvern game. I can't say it's got to be the most difficult hero to play, but I have seen a huge variance in terms of how teams or how players level up this hero, like what they skill first. I've seen people just say that you need to max the Arctic Burn. It seems to be the strongest to max out Splinter Blast.
Yeah.
It seems like an amazing nuke, but
that or Arctic Burn. Those two, obviously. Maxing Cold Embrace is only you just get an extra percentage, which is not bad, but I've seen a lot of Splinter Blast maxing. I've seen a lot of Arctic Burn maxing. And both
5-man snowball incoming.
Yeah, they're going to snowball here. They need to get on design. They're going to find him. They're going to get 3, 4, all 5, I believe, and Zai's in trouble. LSA and Zai is definitely going to fall. Maybe not. The Avalanche comes out. No, he'll go down to Fear, and his right click coming through. That was a 5-man snowball. That was a party. They just ran right in and say, hey, what's up? Let me drink your booze. And they got the easy kill on Zai. And they might even get S4. He's
just walking up.
And they're just going to Riptide him now as well. They don't have the Arctic Burn. There's the Tether coming through. They don't have Overcharge yet. S4 will take a lot of damage. Does have a salve, luckily, but that could have been a lot worse for him, too.
Really strange they just kind of walked up right there. They have this ward, so maybe they're like... I guess that doesn't give vision of this little spot right here. And they're even going to... Are they going to counter that? Do they have a sentry? Oh, no, they already used 2 sentries. Okay, one of their sentries got countered by the sentry from Secret, so that's good. At least they have that camp to work with.
Right.
This one's blocked. and their main pole camp is blocked. And
yeah, I didn't see the sentry over there, but still, that's not bad. Puppy could do work with this. He's going to be blocking the creeps for the time being. He won't get the medium camp. He'll have the hard camp, which is fine, because he could just actually just Holy Persuasion and go from there.
Naga's just going to block this herself manually. Oh, she got a little bit scared. She got cold feet.
Go back in. AUI turn around. Nah. It's too late at that point. And he'll head back towards the lane. And it's going to be a dual lane coming up from Universe as well as AUI. And then a dual lane mid with Sumail so far with PPD. So Sumail is going to be the farming lane here. He did go for that LSA level 1, so doesn't have the Dragon Slave to maybe harass and zone out people with. But still, the top lane is going to be very interesting with Fear versus the Bristleback, which is what we talked about at the beginning of the game already. You know, bottom lane, they're going at S4. Do they have any other way to kill him? They don't. They only have Riptide, no ensnare yet for AUI 2000, so...
This is a really hard lane for Storm. I don't know how he's going to get very much. They have no pull to work with. He can't even pull for himself if he wanted to. And he's getting zoned out by just a Naga. So it's going to be free farming Tusk, which is actually can do a lot with free farm. Top lane, you have a Bristleback against a Razor. I already talked about how this is a great counter to him. So he's getting nothing. Bottom's getting nothing. Mid's going to be a wash because it's dual lane versus dual lane. At the very best, they're at least farming this Chen. Oh, here comes the snowball onto S4, and he's dead.
I actually didn't see it. Ice Shards came through. They get an easy kill coming in. Here comes Puppy. He's got his ensnare. They don't have mana. Universe is kind of low. But Puppy can't do enough damage. He's only level 1 with no test of faith. He did just get level 2. He didn't level it up, though. And so he'll... S4, like you mentioned, this is a very tough lane. He's even taking a lot of damage from these creeps. He will get at least some experience in gold because the wave is under his tower now. That's great. Good stuff there for S4 getting back into it. Mid lane is something I want to keep my eye on because who knows what the hell is going to happen here. Honestly, RTZ has 10 last hits. He's doing pretty well. Oh, bottom rune spot. Naga. They get caught. They do get the regen rune, but he doesn't actually get any use out of it. Now Puppy getting chased down. Arts of Burn already going. Look at that slow coming out as well. The body block coming in. There's the snowball. Easy kill for Universe as well. Nicely played.
Oh, this is just a really hard early game to fight into, these heroes of EG. I'm surprised that RTC is actually doing really well in mid as far as... I mean, yes, it's a dual lane mid, but this is also against a... Oh, hold that thought. This is Caster Curse coming into play, as he might actually die. Oh, the nuke actually...
didn't hit!
Yeah.
Oh. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I was gonna say, he's doing well for now. Sumail's gonna level up. He'll have like level 3 Dragon Slave. You know, get Laguna Blade, and that's not gonna be super easy. And I think Crow will stay around and obviously help him out there with the bottle. Zai, top lane's gonna take 70 damage loss from Static Link, and he really has only got 2 last hit spears sitting right now at 12. So top lane going fantastically, bottom lane is going fantastically, and they're even gonna find S4 again with the ensnare. Snowball comes out. They don't have the Riptide. They don't need it. Universe will get another kill. He is getting free farm. Not only getting last hits, but also now getting up 2 kills as well.
Yeah, and they're going to go on a Sumail mid. Nope, it's a stun. They didn't feel confident in going towards it. But yeah, at least Tiny's getting farm. And I said surprisingly because this is pretty mid lane. Like,
yes.
Lina dual lane plus another range is very, very strong.
I mean, we just saw it there, honestly.
Yeah. This game has to come down to just playing the games passively and letting Chen go as much farm as he can without dying. But Chen already died once, so that sucks. Yeah. Bottom has died twice. It seems a very strange game to set up these lanes. Oh, mid lane again. But no, Sumail's fine.
PPD. Yeah, Sumail's gonna be fine. Boots coming out as well as his bottle. He had to bottle Crow. They couldn't get the runes at the 2-minute spot. EG's AUI 2000 is gonna be looking for that bottom rune. Top lane, RT's, or top rune spot rather, RT's and Crow are going to secure the top rune for themselves. We'll see what it is. Not that it's going to matter, Crow's going to have it. Gets an invis. Yeah, there are better things, there are worse things. I will say that S4 is getting some more now. He's getting more out of this lane. He's 14 last hits, 6 denies. Not doing too poorly, even with, dying twice. But as I say that, he's going to get ice sharded. He'll be okay. There is actually no AUI 2000 to help him here this time, so... It could be a lot worse for S4. He could be... dying twice and not getting any farm at all, but that's not the case.
True. Yeah, he is actually getting some good CS, which is great. And once he hits 6, then he's totally... Well, I can't even say totally fine, because Tusk can kind of blow him up, I think. He has to be careful. If he's at full HP, I imagine he'll be fine.
He's actually leading in CS in comparison to Universe. He's beating him, so...
That's good, yeah. Top lane, Zai taking a ton of harass. It's 112 damage stolen. Fear throws out the nuke. It's only level 2 nuke, but it still did so much damage. Because Zai is only level 2!
Zai yeah, that is a problem. That's not great. Level 2 versus level 5, that's how you know a lane's going poorly. Zai could catch up. Maybe he gets, a couple of stacks in the Ancients or in the jungle.
Well, he's got none right now to work with, because the jungle's occupied by Chen, who needs it, and nobody's there available to stack. I'm surprised maybe Kuro didn't stack Ancients. Maybe he was stacking this camp for someone. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think those Ancients definitely need to get stacked, otherwise Bristol's going to get nothing this game.
I think the jungle too is going to be hotly contested by all the secret members. Like, you know, Tiny and Io want to do the stacks together. You have Chen, obviously, and even Storm with Remnant. Not to mention the Bristol deck, which we already talked about. So everybody wants to be in that jungle for secret.
Oh God, that nuke, that toss from Arteezy hit both of them in mid and did actually a ton of damage. Level 3 toss.
Mel's sitting pretty low, about half health right now. He does have 6 wand charges to buy a belt of strength. So he's going to be grabbing treads, it looks like. Interestingly enough, I think that was his. It is. So that's not something you see every day, but all right.
Both members have an uphill ward mid, so it's really important to have that against Wisp, because you want to make sure you don't you have the full vision of like Tiny trying to jump up onto you. So they have that. Wisp, they also have that, so they can have the opportunity to do so. So both wards are going to kind of counteract each other. The Storm is so close to level 6. The Ice Shards went a little bit further, so he wasn't going to get blocked.
This could be a huge engagement coming from Secret.
One creeping will have 6. Yep, one creep.
This is going to be problematic. Universe is going to see the Chen, but doesn't really matter in the end. That's huge for S4 getting back into it.
What a huge rune to have for your Wisp too. Like, what better opportunity than a Storm Spirit for your team that just hit level 6. So really utilizing that rune to its full potential. Arteezy taking some slow damage. The Ice Charge is, oh, it's gonna be off the mark. Pretty close, but he does live. How's poor old Zai doing up top lane? He's only level 4 compared to a Fear that's level almost 7. This lane is such a disaster, but all things, but after that huge engagement, I think S4 is going to have a much better game than he did last game.
I can't go anywhere, man. Like, again, you talked about the Ancients. There's no way for him to, I mean, there's no stacks there. The jungle's occupado.
He stacked them himself. I know he wants to just sit at this tower whenever the wave's coming in, but I feel like he's going to benefit a lot more by getting these Ancients stacked than getting maybe a little bit of experience here and there. He's now level 5, which is great. Now he has, I think, a sufficient amount of damage from his Quill Sprays to do his stack. So maybe he thinks about going to do that.
Universe was getting chased down there by Arteezy. He was getting attacked by some of the creeps, but that was just to make sure he didn't go for that bounty down in the bottom lane, or bottom rune spot. So it's great for Fear up in the top lane. Mid lane was a wash, but then Sumail TP'd bottom and died, and Arteezy was getting free farm throughout that entire time. And bottom lane was fantastic for Evil Geniuses up until S4 got his level 6, and they got a couple of kills, and now he's getting a lot of room to farm. 35 last hits. He's doing pretty well for himself now with treads. No bottle that I can see. He is bringing it out now, I believe. And that's great. I like the plays Secret were making. They smoked up. We saw a lot of that from Evil Geniuses last game, but now there's going to be a snare top. There's also going to be the static link as well.
TP rotation.
And I think Zai, the Hand of God's going to come out. They do get the relocated. Fear is getting low. They're going to go on TP in. They will find this kill. TP coming out. Fear is low. It looks like he will stay alive and TP away. Safety, just barely though, and it is going to be a 1-for-1 support for your offlaner. Could have been a lot worse coming through for EG and for Secret, of course. But
I don't think Secret got enough out of the rotation, unfortunately. They wanted to get a lot more, but they only got the Winter Wyvern. They had to kind of shift their attention to him because he had the Cold Embrace on him, and the only way to kill that is just through magic damage. And then Razor's pretty damn fast, even just with 1 point in that unstable current, runs to the side, gets a TP out. So I'm sure they wanted to get a lot more out of that, and I think that's a fine exchange for EG, because they did bait out the relocate, and it was ended up being a support for an offlaner.
Yeah, and they're going to head bottom in again, just try to shut Zai down. And I mean, I think at this point they'd rather have S4, but it's harder to lock him down than it is. But they can burst him down, like you mentioned, with Walrus Punch, and there's a lot of damage. Fear is very close to his mech. He has the buckler pretty much. Actually, let's say he's not. Okay, he's not as close as I thought he was. Didn't even have the buckler yet, so he's still a couple hundred gold away from getting that mech early on here, but that will still be a pretty good timing for it. They're going to try to chase down Zai. There's no Radiant Vision that I can see. They're still smoked up anyways. There's a double damage bottom rune spot for whoever wants it. The Blueberry rune. Arteezy's going to work on tier 1 mid, though.
Really good rune for Tusk. Yeah. He can do so much damage with this, and they're going to put up a ward. One of the few smoke ganks from EG that we've seen fail. I mean, they're usually just always connecting with these smoke ganks, but Secret sniffed it out well or something, or just dodged a bullet. But either way, not going to make anything happen with that smoke. S4 is up top. I think it's smart to put him up top, and because he's a little bit more difficult to kill. That being said, Sumail actually TP's in. If they do find a combo, they can maybe get a kill onto him. I don't know. If Storm is on strength treads, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to bring it.
He needs to be, oh god, he needs to be on strength treads, I think.
Can blind LSA here? They will. Laguna Blade comes out the last couple of right clicks, and he's going to try to make it away. A long range, but he does just join that last projectile. Meanwhile, they're going to find Fear near the Aegis stack. He doesn't have his mech up. Look at the center Conqueror Stomp come through the Hellbear Smash. It throws up the Thunderclap, but here comes Universe. Walrus Punch. Not enough to get the kill. Toss onto Universe. These bottle charges if necessary. Sigil coming through. Ice Shard.
Oh, he misses!
Not connecting. Universe misses. Needs one more right click, but there's the Avalanche. They keep up the IO. He stays alive. He's sweating right now for sure. PPD won't be able to find the kill. TP's coming away. They lose 2 heroes in that engagement, and suddenly it's tied up 6-6. Game looks a lot closer.
All right, what a juke there from Kuroki. Can we call it a juke, or was it just a blunder? I don't know. Either way, here comes Relocate onto Aoi. He has no song yet. He's only level 5.5, and they get a very, very easy pickoff. Really nice rotation, abusing the fact that he's not level 6 yet. Zai taking a lot of damage. He's in trouble, but here comes the heal from Chen.
Fear does not want to go. The relocate out. Arteezy's alone, but the Chen is here as well. And there's the ensnare. Centaur Conqueror Stomp. A couple of Hellbear Smasher Thunderclaps. And Fear's like, I'm at half health. What's happening right now? The Chen army is destroying me. Chen will head back just to make sure he can recall his creeps, and he won't do it yet.
Oh, yes, and Arteezy went for the blink on Tiny. He goes back in on PPD, gets the kill. Nice combo from Arteezy. PPD just wasn't expecting it. He's going to know for sure that they have a ward. It gets pinged out. And they get the last hit here for Puppy. So really nice plays here coming out from Secret. The same exact rotation coming in now from Sumail again. If he had a little bit of help from Aoi last time he initiated, it was a for sure kill on S4. This time it's going to be the snowball, and this will be a kill.
Yeah, that's huge. They need that. S4. He's kind of, you know, snowballing a little bit. Get it. But now they do get the kill. Meanwhile, Zai does pick up that tier 1 tower mid, and he's starting to get a little bit more out of this. His net worth is 3rd to last here. He's only above the Naga. Top lane, Arteezy does bring down Sumail with that blink dagger coming in, getting his combo off. Sumail caught out of position, and there's just kills happening everywhere. There's dead bodies all over the goddamn ground, and it's hard to keep track of, but so far it is 9-7. It's Secret actually coming back pretty strong. They have a 3,000 net worth lead now, 2,000 experience lead. Arteezy, he's the one doing, I think, a lot of the work in this situation. He's even wrapping around. He's going all the way under the tower. AUI's like, I don't have 6 yet, please. Avalanche toss comes in. He does have a salve. He's got a stick as well. Song comes out. Yeah, relocate could come through here. They might be able to stop it maybe with a Winter's Curse.
Oh yeah, oh god, they're level 6 on a Wyvern.
Winter's Curse will come in, but Arteezy does get away with the blink dagger, so Kuroki will fall, but they didn't keep Arteezy there to get that secondary kill, so that was a little bit lucky for Secret, or just really well played from Arteezy, rather.
Yeah, very, very fast blink rotation backwards, so it could have been way worse. Dodged a bullet, so to speak. But I'm such a huge fan of the blink on Tiny. I know there's different schools of thought on this. Sometimes it's very glaringly obvious that you should just rush the Ags. But I don't know. I just think the combo does so much damage. I think it's still relevant in late game too, because you can always toss someone back into your team, similar to like a Magnus Skewer. And just the fact that they've buffed it so it makes it much easier to hone in onto that single target. It's now the closest unit rather than rather than a random unit. Snowball into mid.
Out. There's the Walrus Punch. Not doing that much damage. Here comes the Arctic Burn though, and Dai is pretty fast with his Warpath. 3 stacks. They relocate him out. Here comes Arteezy. He's alone, however, but Fear takes a heck of amount of damage from that. He'll actually have to mech up and stay alive. So, as far as the Blink Dagger on Tiny is concerned, he's gotten so many kills with it. Like, they might just be winning this game because of this Blink Dagger purchase. It's 4-0-2. You could argue that there's some other plays like that smoke down to bottom that helped out S4, but they're definitely in a commanding position. Although Arteezy right now is the only really farmed hero. S4 is getting there. He only has the 1 Oblivion staff for now.
Yep, and I think, is he going to go for the... oh, he's going to go just for the Ag, so this is just a casual bracer here for Arteezy. And there is the 15-minute Yules. So that's 7 minutes later than he got it last game. Just to put in perspective how fast it was.
A bit late, yeah, a bit late from Sumail, but
I mean, it's still great timing. It's still fine because he has the treads too. It's just he got it. This just shows how friggin' fast it was last game.
Yeah. AY down bottom. Arcanes, he just purchased them up, so AY hasn't had the best game. Him and PPD are very, very poor, and I think that might be a big issue for them. Vision's going to be kind of lacking, I think, for the most part, or just that second set of items that you want as support to maybe make you a bit more impactful as the game progresses, but it's going to be a long way. They need to try to take some sort of fight. Universe is, I think, saving it for Blink Dagger. Fear already has his mech, but he really hasn't done, like, he had a great start, and this mech has not really done much for them. There's Puppey and Kuroki top. They might want to go for this tier 1 tower. It is very low. Arteezy is also up here ready to go with the Blink and the point booster. Tough to bring him down, and it's going to be him getting jumped on. They probably have a relocate, but Warriors Punch comes out, and Curl is not in position.
That was really strange. I don't know what he was thinking there. He kind of just walked up and, like, I don't know. I thought maybe he thought that the tower was, like, one toss away from being dead, but I don't know. That was strange.
Burrow was there, but he was at the tower. It was interesting. I thought he was right next to Arteezy, but that wasn't the case. There was no relocate out, so a huge kill that provides Universe pretty much his Blink Dagger. Fear gets a bit of gold as well. He's going drums. And all right, where do we go from here? 16.5 minutes into the game. S4 is farming very well, and I think they have to maybe prioritize killing him a couple of times, but easier said than done.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And he is going for the Orchid.
Oh, they smoked on this ward. They saw this.
And it looks like S4, he wanted to break it, and he did. Nicely played from him. PPD solo smoke isn't really going to get much done. He's kind of seen some creeps right now, but
the creeps are baiting, and Sumail realizes this might not be the best idea. Regardless if it's the best idea, Zai's going to walk up. They
have a relocate.
He can use him. They do throw up the Cold Embrace, the Winner's Curse rather than S4. Laguna Blade, did he dodge that? The song comes out. I don't know if they can take this fight. Sumail is trying to regen up. His LSA is about to come out, I imagine. And it doesn't connect. It's a bit too early on S4. S4 snowball. They get the kill with the Ice Shards. Warriors punching a Puppey on the other side of the fray. PPD Cold Embrace up. Zai chasing after AUI. AUI is going to fall. On the other things, PPD, rather, Puppey gets caught out and killed. And you will clear up this creep army. Here comes Zai. That kind of PPD, but Fear's here as well. Static Link's going to go. Good Cold Embrace. All that physical damage negated. Zai cannot finish off the kill. Snowball towards the other hero. It's going to be Arteezy. Not going to connect, but the Ice Shards will. 3-for-1 exchange. And EG bring it right back with that beautiful fight.
Yeah, Arteezy also missed his stun there at the beginning. He tried to combo onto the Wyvern, but he missed his stun. And then after he tossed down, the Wyvern came down with very low HP, but just able to use the Cold Embrace, which he's actually gone for a smorgasbord kind of build here. He's gone 3-2-2.
Oh, God.
I wasn't even trying to lead into that. I'm like, 3-2. Oh, I see where this is going.
No, I saw that too. I was like, I know this is coming.
But it healed on him nicely, and it's also, now that I think about it, a great counter to Bristle, because all of Bristle's damage is all physical.
Yep.
So that Cold Embrace kind of owns him.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. And Zai's already having a rough game as it is. I want to remind everybody, this is game 2, and Secret already down 1-0. They need to win this game to force game 3. If you win this series, you are guaranteed 40,000 USD, $40,000. That's something else, so it's not like this. And if you, of course, if you go down to the into the losers bracket and you lose that series, you don't get any money. You have to win one series to get to the money. So a lot's at stake here, and Evil Geniuses are currently staying alive, I'd say. They're not leading. Secret have a small lead, and they also have a very good lineup in the late game, but Evil Geniuses are doing okay for themselves here. But S4 looks to get this Orchid up and then do some work here.
Also, while there's not really like a for sure counter combo with the Naga Siren Sleep, as a support, and this was much more prevalent when we saw Naga Siren played as a support a long time ago, much more frequently, but it's just so good against the Wisp relocate. There's really nothing you can do about it. You relocate in, song, it's very easy, cut and dry when to use it, and that's just what they did. And what it does also, it wastes a lot of Wisp's time, because then he has like only 5 seconds left to actually aid his ally in a fight before he has to go back or bring himself back.
And then you start panicking, and you're just like, what do I do? So it's it was definitely a rough situation. EG smoked again right on top of a ward, so they have a pretty good idea as to where Sumail and PPD are. Sumail's even going to get ensnared by a Dark Troll Summoner casually. The tier 1 tower is not in deny range. 5 versus 5 mid right now. The good old, you know, this is a pub game, let's go 5-man mid and just sit there for a while. Instead, EG will end up backing up and starting to farm. But now, Secret are going to be aggressive. They have a smoke, and Universe is going to pop it. He needs to be careful. They're going to jump right in. Sumail in trouble. He'll go down. The snowball's going to come in, and S4 might get Walrus punched. Got mana to work with. The pull's going to come out. Song of the Siren. Reset the fight. Sumail buys back. TP's in. LSA is going to get ready here in just a second. PPD, he's got that cold, and rather Winter's Curse. God, I can't get that right. S4 gets blown up. They even use the cold embrace their puppy. Gets Laguna bladed. The only one alive after that bloodbath is Arteezy. That took 5 seconds to get started, even less than that, and all of a sudden it's over. EG just burst everybody down except for the Tiny, but here comes Fear. Nice avalanche from Arteezy. He thought about turning around, but he's already lost 100 damage or so. And Fear is just chasing him. Ice shards are going to connect coming out from Universe. There's Gideon with the snowball as well. That'll be another kill. All 5 dead again. And Evil Geniuses getting back into it, man.
That was again a mistake by Arteezy. What he did was, and you could tell what his thinking process. He stunned the Razor and he's like, all right, I'm going to toss you back, but wait, the toss back is going to purge me, and so I'm actually going to be slower and take damage I can't blink. If he just stunned and then ran away and blinked, he would have been fine, but he second guessed himself. He was like thinking about one thing and then changed his mind in the middle of it, and as a result he died because he just was too slow, and then they were able to catch him with auto attacks and disable his blink constantly. Also, while the song was coming out, like 224 damage stolen from the bristleback, I think, from Fear. And then Fear found the Wisp. He saw Wisp was trying to relocate someone out, and he hit him 3 times and killed him, like in a matter of 1.5 seconds. It was insane the amount of damage that this Razor does when he steals 224 damage.
Yeah, that's... Fear has been putting in some work this game. S4 got blown up, and he's got a lot more problems than just getting, you know, an early Orchid. He might even... I mean, even a BKB, Cold Embrace... God, Winter's Curse will still go through that. I've called it Cold Embrace like 6 times. Really a problem. But yeah, maybe BKB. Obviously, Bloodstone would be really nice to have on a Storm Spirit. So he's got some time before he gets up and gets into that fighting shape for S4. But we'll see if we can get there.
Yeah, things are looking good for EG. That being said, I'm looking at the net worth, and it's still not crazy.
No,
still
that fight did not give them that much. But a lot of that is maybe due to... I don't know, it's not due to towers. They have pretty much the same towers except for the tier 1 bottom.
It's mostly due to the fact that EG's just really not farming. Like, they're winning the fights and they have stronger heroes in the team fights right now, but they're not, other than the Razor, they're not actually like farming that much, I would say. I don't know, actually, I'm looking at the CS. Their CS is actually pretty much even with both the Tiny and the Storm.
It's the supports, I think.
Yeah, it must
and
be.
AUI are very, very poor. Although AUI has a drum now, but they already have one, I believe. Yeah, they do. PPD has a cloak, so he wants to get that Glimmer Cape, which you see very often on Winter Wyvern. In fact, I think it's almost core. So yeah, the supports are very poor. You know, Puppy doesn't have that issue. He's a Chen, so he can farm very well. And the IO, he's not doing too much better. In fact, he's right behind AUI and only ahead of PPD by a little bit.
Bottom, they're gonna ult, I think, Arteezy and go for him.
Winter's Curse, there it goes. And the static link, this should be a free kill. No Baroki there to relocate him out. Toss does do some damage. They even smoked down there with a couple other heroes with EG, but I just had to Roach now and try to take this.
That damage is so insane from Razor right now. And Razor almost has a Shiva's. He has a Shiva's and 100 gold. So they're going to have Shiva's on Fear. He's going to hit 16. He's going to have an Aegis. Oh, man. This is looking really good for EG right now.
Grit, they do the right thing, though. The lanes were not pushed out, and they're going to try to take these tier 2 towers. Mid tower's going to be taken by S4, at least puts pressure on. Top tower's not going to be taken by Zai. They're going to back away. So they might be able to get this tier 2. They should flip this. In fact, actually, S4 is just going to back away. He's a little bit nervous. And that'll be an Aegis for Universe, interestingly enough. Out of all the heroes, I guess that makes sense.
For Universe, okay. Interesting.
I would have thought Sumail, honestly, but... Oh well. As you mentioned, Razor's AC, or not AC, rather, Shiva's guard is done. He's going to get the plate mail from the side shop, the super shop rather. And at that point, it's just even more to deal with if you're Secret. Fear is the most farmed of the game. He's 12,000 net worth. Alright. So we've kind of hit a lull. Both teams back to farming.
Yep. I think Fear's Razor has just been on point this game. Just doing so much damage, and I like the item choices too. Like, Mech is usually a little weird on him now because of this constant nerfs, but I mean, he's able to farm so fast as Shivas. Now he has no mana problems at all. And he went drums too, so. And Shivas is obviously great against Bristle because, like I said, Bristle's all physical damage. And I missed that one, but...
You didn't miss much. It was a Chen dying within seconds. However, S4, in a bit of an interesting spot, but he'll probably be fine. They have no real knowledge of him being here, so... They're drawing a line. They want to head top. Fear, gonna get chased down by Arteezy. He actually knows this. He's gonna pop the drum charge just so he can get away faster. Bottom, S4, still not scouted out.
They want to relocate, but Owie's here. They're just gonna get songed. Although he could go on Owie.
Or if he comes out, Song needs to go, and it will, but they do get the kill immediately on his Sumail, and he's dead for 70. More TP's coming in. I don't know if you want to... I guess it is going to be about 4 versus 3. They're going to get the Cold Embrace off. It is going to go on a Kuroki, and Arteezy cleans his block. It's popping off. Now there's going to be the Loris punch on Arteezy. Static Link coming in, and Fear again doing so much work. The Shiva's guard kiting him, and they take down 2. They do get the TP out from S4, so at least he does survive. It does turn into a 2-for-1 trade, though. That's the biggest issue. Now TP top universe going on to Zai. Actually blinks away, not going on him, trying to escape him.
I'm not sure I really think that was the play. I think it would have been smarter to ball in, use the Orchid onto Owie.
Yes.
So he can't song, and then pull the Lina.
Yes.
And I think that would have bought enough time to bring them in and still kill both of them without sleeping everybody.
I will say that we're very close together, and it might have been a misclick. That's always a possibility with the Orchid, but...
possibly. That could have been it as well.
I'm not going to get too deep into this, though.
That being said, he did kill him really fast, but that means the relocate just baited them into their death because they didn't stop the song from coming out.
Yeah. Arteezy and Kuro got there, and they're just like, oh, what do we do now? I guess that. Not much else they could do in that situation. Arteezy does finish up his Aghanim Scepter. His farm was really good early on, but it's been stifled. I mean, 4 deaths will do that to you. So it's not been the best. S4 has kind of leapfrogged him in terms of farm and where he's at. And S4 is, in fact, going for the BKB, which is fantastic. Although, if he gets Cold Embrace, he's going to probably die either way. He might just need, BKB Lincoln Sphere. You don't want to have to go super defensive on a Storm Spirit, but this might be the game for it. I don't know what your thoughts on it are.
I'm sorry.
Storm?
Link is for Storm?
After BKB, I mean.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's totally fine. The Winter's Curse is going to... Or was that what it's called? Yeah, Winter's Curse is going to destroy him. If not, the Yule's combo. So, yeah, I think that's fine.
That's what I was saying.
So, I'm still surprised, actually. Especially surprised that Zai's farm is... He's, like, pretty much tied for second net worth. That's really impressive, considering his horrible start. He's got now Heaven's Halberd, which is it's kind of weird because it's like you don't want to use it on the Razor because then you're going to get purged, but you kind of have to because he's hitting for 350 damage. I think it's more of just the ability to do that, but plus it's a really good cost-effective item. Like it gives you tons of strength, pretty damn good damage, good overall evasion. He's actually half HP, and they're not smoked, but they're above him.
And they don't have vision of him, but he's staying kind of far back. But now they're going to wrap in, and EY's going to look right within snare. Ooh, he almost gets away. Yules comes out. That was from Sumail. LSA is going to connect, and that's going to be Walrus Punch and just a dead Zai.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So much for that.
First recorded Blink Desco Tusk. Huh,
that was a pretty good game. Universe has set up a lot of kills for the initiation. Tier 2 towers, both mid and top lane, are getting assaulted. Mid lane will fall. Top lane still could be defended. Fear's here alone. Speaking of alone, AUI, there's TP's coming in. They want to kill Arteezy. PPD not here yet. Sumail getting ready with the LSA, but he mistimes it. Here comes the Orchid coming up from S4. Relocate away from Kuro. Universe, now the TP coming in. They need a snowball. They can't quite find it. He is going to make it out. That could have been a lot worse. In fact, they get everybody away, and they force out a lot of TP rotations, and that means that the tier 2 tower top lane will survive.
Oh, the Wisp is dead, though.
Except for...
Oh, he even had a haste rune, I think. But they still managed to just do so much damage with the Laguna, which is level 16 now with Ag, so really scary Sumail.
That's frightening, to say the least. Somebody just bought an item. What was it? Oh, BKB for S4, I believe.
Also, Vlad's on Bristleback.
Couple of good items coming out for Secret. Pillar Press not coming in from AY. Jump on. Sumail is going to get bounced up. Now the Static Link going through as well. Sumail in trouble. Not dead yet. He loses himself, but Mech already came through. Zai actually going to chase him down, but the LSA going to go through. Doesn't connect. There's the Walrus Punch. Turning back. Hand of God's going to go, but Zai gets blowed up. or will be getting blown up. He does do a lot of damage with those quill sprays, and Fear has to back up. Meanwhile, top lane getting chunked down by the tree. They're going to turn it for EG. They want the sigil. They've got it on Puppey. He's going to get stared up. He's got, please, God, no. And Fear will pick up the Wicked 6 streak in the process of doing so. And EG, they'll take 2. They're going to head towards the tier 3 tower. But it looks as if they might just back off. In fact, Sumel's going to get jumped out again. Great Yules. The BKB is down for S4, but there's nobody there to catch him out. He's just going to ball lighting and TP away. And so he'll make it out again as Arteezy goes straight for that tier 3 tower top.
Putting some okay damage onto it. Wasn't there in the last fight, so did a good amount of damage. Good amount of structural damage at that. We'll see. I mean, it's still crazy that it's not that far out of the grasp in terms of net worth. Like, it's still only 4,000. Just seems like EG's never even coming close to losing a fight. I guess Sumail was kind of close to being dead right there, but...
Good mech, though, Fear.
Yeah.
He also has his Aghanim Scepter now. All right, so the thing is, too, Ralph, I think Io Tiny together is going to be difficult to deal with in a little bit here, especially if you get into Salt Cuirass on Tiny suddenly. If there are tier 3 towers available to take, Arteezy can get in there, keep the creep wave pushed out, and go from there. He also just got a level 16, so level 3 grows up. Like you said, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for Secret. They're not in that bad of a spot. They just need to take 1 or 2 good team fights, or, you know, take some towers. Just fight.
I think they actually want to rat again, and I think that Artur's bottom.
S4 can't get the BKB off, and he gets blown up. Fortunate.
Yep, even if he did, that Laguna will still go through so much damage, but Arteezy went for the Mask of Madness, and I don't think you want to fight in a team fight with Mask of Madness, because I think you're going to take so much damage. And the Winter's Curse is just so friggin' good against the Wisp. And Zai.
Golden Brace comes out, and Sarah comes through. They're going to send home. Is it going to be enough? He actually is going to make it away. Nice play. They're going to have to go back home. Look at the tier 3 tower. This is the problem, man. You give them even this move room to work with, and Arteezy is going to go to work.
They should focus on Fear right now. I think they can maybe make a play onto him.
And they're going to go with Zai. Viscous is a goo. He's going to relocate as well, and Fear is in trouble. Static Link will go through. He's got the mech. He's going to use it. He's going to TP away is the question. They have no way to lock him down anymore with the Avalanche Toss on. It's still 84 damage. Here comes Balin, though. Laguna Blade. Relocate home from Kuroki. Nice play. Arteezy's left alone. Another Yule's coming out. They have LSA in a second. IOTP's back into the fray. Arteezy's actually just going to stand still, and looks like he'll be able to make it away. Universe is coming down bottom as well, but just a little bit of, I don't know, little fights here and there. Zai's going to get on top. Sumel's here as well with the LSA. Zai was just bottom. And we're going to connect the LSA, and this should be a kill. Yeah. He's good.
Yeah, that Solar Crest is really awesome too. So much damage. Negative 10 armor, and then they can't hit anything, pretty much 30% miss chance.
With Riptide on top of that.
Yeah, it's really, really strong.
Well, alright. They'll lose Zai.
You see what happens, though. When you see what happens when... Oh, yeah, Fear.
He's dead. That's it. Next, not available. Oh! Guard. Oh, with a ball lighting from S4, we'll clean it up. That was...
You see that passive owning him when he tosses him. It's pretty insane. Here comes the snowball in. You can one-shot Kuroki, I think. Close.
Very close to one-shotting him. Arctic Burn will kill him, I believe.
Miss?
Missed? Wow. Oh, those missed chances from the low ground. You gotta be kidding me. He ends up getting the kill in the end anyways. All right, man. Where do we go from here?
This is crazy. It's crazy that Secret are still within their grasp of 5,000 net worth. A blink actually on Winter Wyvern. I think they need to rat this out, but it's kind of... Like, you have Chen, who wants to kind of fight with his mech, and now he has Guardian Greaves and ulti. Bristleback obviously wants to fight, but the Razor pick is really good against him. I think the Razor pick, which normally is kind of stale and doesn't do much, is just doing so much this game.
Yeah. This is a pretty good draft so far for Evil Geniuses. Not to say Secret have a bad draft, it's just that S4 kind of got crushed early on. His effectiveness hasn't been felt too much. He's 5-2. Arteezy fell off right after early to mid game. And Zai really had an awful time, but he's bounded so well, but it's just, right now, it's not enough. So ratting is, like you mentioned, the name of the game, and with 4,000 gold, Arteezy could pick up an Assault Cuirass, making it even easier to take down buildings. We'll see if he decides to go for that as his next item, go for maybe a bit more damage, something else. But Roche is up, and that seems to be the point of contention, at least for EG. They want to head into the Roche pit. Hey, Roche, what's up? Just kill you and take your Aegis real quick. And the lanes are all pretty pushed out as well, so there's no big potential for getting ratted while this is happening.
Yeah, they got Sigil, Solar Crest, they got negative armor from Universe, and they also have this song, if anything got a little bit hairy, but nope, they're not even going to contest it. They know they can't fight this, and the immediate smoke coming out from EG as well. Again, one of their strengths is they always seem to initiate fights after smokes extremely well. We'll see if Universe can find the opening he's looking for. I think he's got a BKB in base too, or something.
They're gonna find Puppey, and he's gonna get LSA here. And they're gonna try to jump in with S4. He's gonna BKB, and there's gonna Cold Embrace. The song comes out. They're gonna try to end the Laguna play will do the job. They haven't even killed Puppey yet. They focused all their attention on poor S4, and he doesn't have buyback. He's down for 64 seconds. Luckily, the creep wave is mid, so they have some time to work with, and they're going to try to put up top with Zion Arteezy, and maybe just TP rotations back. So, Secret are in an awful position despite losing one critical hero, and Puppey going down as well.
Getting BKB to the song does nothing, then gets Cold Embrace, or what is it, Winter's Curse. So he's still again. Oh, I don't remember. I screwed up all the time too, so like, hard, but. It kind of even worked against him having that BKB and then just got Lagooned in the face. Really hard. It's just hard to kind of deal with all of these different interactions. There's really no, like, you have to have a ton of defensive items, like you mentioned the Lincoln Spirit, but he's just too far away from that.
Arteezy might just spray this. They baited a TP from Universe, then he stopped it, and there's no way, absolutely no way that AUI can take this fight alone. So they're TPing more back now. Io's in the backside, ready to relocate out. They have Winter's Curse in 30, so not quite there yet. The Arctic Burn slowing him down. They're going to hit the ensnare. Arteezy's going to get relocated back home. The Laguna Blade on his eye, he will fall. And Universe is going to be waiting for Crow, so yeah. Fear is actually at the base, and he's in trouble. Toss comes out. He's Orchided as well. He's going to go down. Fear will fall here. It does take them a long time to get through him, but it is going to be 2-for-1 with Fear going down for 78 seconds. They do clean up the 2-3 top, but EG will take the mid melee racks.
Yeah, which is, I think, fine for them. Zai is, despite him being able to bounce back, it's impossible for him to do anything in these fights. He's just controlled too easily by, whether it's Razor or even just a simple ensnare, the slow from Winter Wyvern, I mean, there's just too many ways to control him. I think he definitely needs probably a BKB at this point, just so he can walk around in fights without having... God, even then you have ensnare to deal with. You have the Tusk Walrus Punch to deal with. It will still slow you down. You have Winter Wyvern's Winter's Curse. I don't know. It seems... I feel really bad for Zai because I think he's done a great job coming back in terms of farm. Had one of the worst lanes you could ask for. It's just so hard for him to actually find his place in a team fight.
It's definitely been a struggle for him, and it will continue to be so, I think. They can maybe try to take one big fight. They still have Aegis for EG. The good thing for Secret is I still love how they just keep this top lane pushed out, like, all the time. Been a really, really, really solid job from Secret, just making sure this lane is hotly contested. Brokey will throw up the Spirits. They're actually going to jump on Arteezy. The Eul's is going to come out. Good toss. He's going to Glimmer Cape. Now there's going to be the LSA. The relocate out comes from Kuro at the perfect time. They even expended Laguna there. And that means that Arteezy is going to finish up. Zai is going to get chased down, though. And this is going to be the collateral damage, unfortunately. He's like, why do I have to die for Arteezy being caught out of position?
That's really smart, though. They're like, we don't care about the relocated Kuroki because he's kind of... Actually, you know what? To be honest, I feel like he's more important than Zai. Because he has abilities that can do stuff this game, whereas I don't think Zai's skill set on the hero can do much.
The Cold Embrace to deal with the physical damage, which we haven't even seen it that often, is something to give the back of your mind.
So strong. Yeah, I didn't even touch on that.
Yeah, it's really good, this game. And so, Zai is in Struggle City right now. Maybe getting another item to help him out in that regard. He already has the Halberd. I don't know what else to go. He definitely doesn't want to go damage though this game, which is, you know, I think the right idea. He's going for, right now at this point, pure utility with the Vlads as well as the Halberd pickup, and his next item will be even more indicative of that, more than likely. Winter Wyvern is a gem, by the way.
Arteezy does have very good farm. Like, he's bounced back nicely. He died so many different times after he went Blink, and it took him forever to get the Ags, and he had just Blink Ags at, like, I don't know, 29 minutes out of something. I don't know. It was really slow. But he's got Mask of Madness. Now he has Assault Caress. The potential is there to take down the base if EG doesn't have TPs.
Yeah.
And they aren't ready for it. But there is always that song that you have to deal with, and Aui's now level 16. That means a 60-second cooldown on that. So that's going to be I think the biggest issue here for Secret.
Is he getting jumped on? Io's not quite there yet. Should make it there in time, and he will. No, this song comes out. Kuro can't get the relocate off. It was actually stopped by the Song of the Siren, and Kuro's going to fall as well. Oh, perfectly timed coming out from Evil Geniuses, and very unfortunate coming out for RTZ. Before we go any further, I do want to touch on the fact that S4 did go for Lincoln Sphere, and we thought it was going to be good earlier on, but they don't have damage. I think that's the biggest issue.
Well, I definitely think this is the right decision.
Right.
For the item build, I think he has to get this, but it might just be too little too late. I actually think that RTZ was going to die before the relocate even came out, despite the nice song from Aui. That damage from the Laguna is so insane. It just does so much damage. Nice creep cutting by S4. If they were able to take this wave out somehow on the bottom lane, then they won't have a wave anymore. Here comes the bots up top. Zai's in trouble yet again. There is a Laguna. His back was turned, but he's still taking lots of damage.
Oh, Walrus Punch. The Yules will come out though, and here too. Bottom lane is going to fall as they get that kill on a Zai in the top lane. Gonna bots in with Tusk, and they're going to just go for this. S4 is going to jump all the way in. They're going to have to manage. Pops the BKB coming through. Lincoln was popped. He's getting so low. Hand of God comes out. The Solar Crest did work. Here's Stowe going in. He's got, of course, his Eye of the Storm going to work as well. Kuro so close to death. Now the Song comes out as well. Fear's actually going to TP back home. They don't want to overextend this. Oh, the avalanche not there from Arteezy. Just a moment too late. And it actually is going to be Fear making it out. Tier 3 tower does stay alive, however.
That was almost a crucial mistake by Aui. He backed up and then... oh, wow, that's a huge zip. He's trying to find a PPD, and he's not going to find him.
PPD has a glimmer anyways.
Yeah, that's true. But that Lincoln Sphere did save S4, because the Winter's came out and it was blocked by the Lincolns.
Well, now they know.
Now they know.
No one has a Force Step either, I don't believe. Force kind of game, apparently. It would be something nice to have. But they will... 42 minutes into the game, and again, Secret are still in this, but it gets harder and harder. The net worth was at 4,000 for like a long time. It's down to about 13,000 now, and that's a pretty big issue. A lot of net worth.
I think they're in the same boat as they were last game, where they cannot fight them at all. But they do have potential to split push. Last game it was Coddle PL, this game it's Swiss Tiny. But they're just really been on point about addressing this issue of not letting them get into the base to give them the opportunity to take down towers.
It's so hard to just stay this focused on making sure top is pushed out and making sure you're not get ratted, and all the while dealing with team fights and what have you. But they've dealt with it nicely, but Secret are like one mistake from EG away, you know, from getting their top racks, because it's constantly pressured by RTZ and co. Puppy has his Aghanims, by the way, so he's gonna be looking for that ancient. Oh, he has one. He's got a Granite Golem. All right, I like it.
It's something.
Yeah, they're gonna need a bit more than that, but especially now that there's a Scythe up on Sumail as well.
I think Zai has to get a BKB, or he's just not gonna be relevant in fights. It's absolutely paramount he gets a PKB, but he just doesn't have the farm. I mean, he's 110-1. He just doesn't have any ways to get farm too, because the lanes are constantly being pushed out by EG. Or if they're not being pushed out by EG, they're being pushed out by the other members of Secret who are actually getting the farm like Tiny.
Mel is able to get sent back with the Test of Faith coming from Secret's Puppy. Top lane RTZ still pushing us in. They're going to wrap around with Fear. Looking for Kuro. He'll find him. And Kuro is probably... He could tether away, and he will. And he's actually just going to TP out. And he barely makes it. And RTZ will also just TP home as well. Alright. So, what else is there? There's a mech purchased up for AUI, even though Fear has one. Actually, he thinks he sold it. They clearly want this skill, which is interesting. He's trying to get Guardian Teams. Walrus Punch, they're going to find RTZ. They're going to jump in. Sumail going to get jumped on. Laguna Blade, S4 now going to work. This song comes out, and Zai will be caught.
Oh,
S4 is able to ball lightning away. Oh, S4 gets caught. They'll know that he's here, but he does have enough mana. The Walrus Punch almost came, but too late. Zai comes in. Now there's the Cold Embrace. Hand of God's gonna go. Walrus Punch, Kuroki. He'll stay alive for now. Cold Embrace has the Sumail. Kuro's gonna fall. Sumail's godlike on the other side of things. Zai's still getting chased down. Ice Shards will connect Zai. Resigned to his death, it looks like. There's going to be the Shiva's Guard. Walrus Punch Universe. Throwing up Shoryukens multiple times in that engagement. Turns into a 3-for-0. There's no buyback in Zai. Arteezy does have it, but this is going to be probably mid-Rex gone, maybe even bottom Rex gone as well.
Here comes a zip-in from... It was a zip-in plus a send-back onto the Storm. They can do that, but he's got to regen his mana, which takes a good 10 seconds sometimes. Glyph coming out, Fear pops the ulti. I think his AC is on the way too. It is. Plus the mech, plus the Guardian Greaves. This is looking like the beginning of the end.
And next to your right is coming up for Evil Geniuses, and that's going to be a full Rax gone. Bottom mid is pretty much dead as well if they rotate there. Dai's still dead for 42 seconds. Roche is up in about 5 seconds. The only times I had more deaths than this at 45 minutes he's playing, he's had a really rough game.
I have to stress that I don't think it's his fault. I think it's just a matter of the draft. Yeah. There's just not much that Bristle can do against the heroes that EG has drafted. So I think the Razor, like I said, the Razor third pick was really, really good, really smart. I think the Wyvern last pick was extremely strong. And something you have to think about now, that is introduced in Captain's Mode. It's been in Captain's Mode for quite some time now, too.
Yes.
That when you pick Wisp, there's a very large possibility of that Wyvern coming out. So, something you have to be wary about.
Yeah, I was very skeptical of the Wyvern pick early on, right during the draft, but he has 6-2-4. You will not find a better stat line for really any Winter Wyverns, honestly. That's fantastic, even as Boots of Travel right now. Somebody just bought a Shadowblade. That is Universe, because why not? Pretty good.
He's had this just like random Ogre Club forever. I thought he was making a BKB, but he's looking for Arteezy. He spots him out in the trees here.
Yeah, but I think he bit off more than he could chew. Universe still chasing. Ooh, good blink out. He's gonna try to TP away. Song gets off just in time. Arteezy's gonna get spotted, and we'll have blink in 5, but there's gonna be the ice shards coming through. The snowball's gonna hit up as well, and Arteezy's looking like he's dead. He will have buyback. Cold Embrace is gonna go just to make sure he can't get away. And Laguna will finish him off finally.
Well, this game is still showing you. Oh, that was a relocate or something. Relocate backwards. I think what he tried to do was relocate and then wait for Arteezy and then bring him back, but just couldn't find the opening. No, nice try by Kuroki.
That was difficult. Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to go for those plays, and you don't make him. It's not the worst thing. He's tried his best.
I think he's played really well this game, actually, even though they're losing pretty badly.
They're losing harder. Ellis is going to come out. Here comes S4, pops the BKB. Lincoln Sphere's still up. It's going to get broken now, but a little bit too late as the range Rex is going to go down. First, they want to focus on the goal, but harder to bring him down than you would want to think. And this... Is it back protected? It must be. Yeah, mid's actually... There's a range creep. A pesky range creep. Now it won't be as the creeps are coming into the base bottom. Range Rex is going to be taken out, and they're going to go for it all. The mega creeps. EG right about to 2-0 here against Team Secret. Secret, who's had a dominating streak throughout MDL Summit 3, even at Red Bull Battlegrounds lane in San Francisco. They might drop their first series in quite some time. They'll jump in with S4, gets hexed up. They broke the Lincoln Sphere. LSA is going to go through. There's the Laguna Blade. He does have buyback. Speaking of buyback, Arteezy just bought back in. It's there, and the Cold Embrace. Man, they want to lock down this giant-ass rock. Arteezy in trouble. Song. Reset the fight. Arteezy. No BKB. They won't be able to focus him down yet, but here comes AUI looking at the Riptide. Ice Shards, BKB again for S4. They're rolling it with Universe. Arteezy's going to fall once more. Not yet. He actually did make it out. Relocate came through, I think, from the IO. No, he's dead. He's going to get expended. That's Sumil down. Here comes S4 again. Zai back in the fray in the front line. Ooh, so much damage. One more right click should do the job, and Universe is going to chase after him to finish it. Arteezy does pick up Sumil's Beyond Godlike spree. Can he make it out alive is the question. Looks like he might be able to. S4 running low on mana. Universe jumping in. Walrus Punch comes through. They're just zoning him out. They want this Rex. They're going to get it. Mega Creeps coming in. Sumil bought back. I need to be a little bit careful here. Zai gets hexed up. There's the LSA Laguna Blade again. And the Ensnare comes through. Zai with no buyback. S4 ball lightning to mid lane. At this point, they're running down mid, but their tier 4s are getting crushed in Trout. This is going to be it, man. I don't know what they're doing, but this is it.
You can feel the frustration of Arteezy just running down mid, but really nicely played by EG. I honestly think in both games, the Secret had an opportunity to take it. Maybe got a little bit complacent in several times in both games. But overall, it was really, I would say, especially this game, it was really hard for them to fight in the mid game of against the draft that EG had. I think Secret had an idea of what they wanted to do for a